welcome to another edition of Parson's Progress. Now in previous videos you'll observe me oiling my deck, but today I'm not oiling that, I'm oiling my tub. I think you'll agree it almost looks like it's brand new, doesn't it? I've got some UV decking oil. I'm just brushing it on really, you see. And I have to say it's very satisfying because it gives it a nice oily glow. Haven't done anything else today. I did scan some with my phone, so it won't be very good. My negatives that are, well, some of them. I haven't done all of them. I've done just a few really, just to kind of see where the lay of the land is, and I think even though they've all exposed and been developed, I still think there's something wrong with that camera, so it's a blessing I did send it probably back. But anyway, I'm going to finish off here and probably show you how big my tobacco crop is becoming. But this is all jolly good fun, isn't it? And like a lot of things, you have to preserve your investment. And that goes for relationships too, which is why I'm always nice to my clerk of works, who's trying to hold the camera steady whilst giggling. See you tomorrow. Now, the situation with the pipage, pending purity tests, I did test it with my electronic water tester, and it came out extraordinarily pure. But of course that doesn't mean there isn't sulphur in it or manganese. Anyway, this is the pipe coming out of the well, which used to go into the hot tub, and it still can do, because what we've done now is we've split it in two. Come with me if you will. So that's where all the water comes. And what we've done is we've split it. So we've got one pipe going through the log pile, which can go into the hot tub, and another pipe that is coming down to the caravan, particularly the deck area, where I can water my plants, which I'm going to show you now. So anyway, the water now comes out, as you will see here, into the pond, and I'm able from this station to water everything. Those 4 plants, tree plants, we like a tree plant, don't we? Fruit comes through that pipe and waters everything else. Now you will know that I planted tomatoes. They're all doing rather well. They just need to colour up. And over here we have the Bishop's Snortweed, and that's flowering. The Californian lilac, and that's prospering. And a lot of you have asked about my tobacco. Well, this is the tobacco, and this is the tobacco. And these are the little tobaccos. Look at the size of these monsters. We've got those tobaccos. What else we've got in here, and I only put them in a week ago, is my Maris pipers. And they're already coming up. I just planted the spuds out. I've got about 20 or more, 30, all going along there. And you can see some of them are beginning to come up. This fella seems to be doing very well. And they're all along here really. So, and this patch has been watered now. So it's all rather jolly, isn't it? Got some lettuce cooling off in the mini pond. Hello my friends, and welcome to my bit where I sit down and speak. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Father John is looking unfeasibly handsome, and you would be right, because I feel handsome. I am wearing, nay sporting, a linen jacket. Let down, of course, by my Rab mountaineering t-shirt, but notwithstanding that, I think we can all agree that I look absolutely capital. Now, before we get on, I'm drinking some non-alcoholic beer because it's the middle of the day. What day is it? It's a Friday. But I thought I'd need something to wash my pipe down with. And I'm drinking some non-alcoholic Beck's beer. So, mud in your eyes. Tastes just like beer. Well, I'm glad to see you all again. I've been somewhat busy and doing a great deal of nothing really. Smoking this little fella. My meerschaum, the one I didn't manage to break. Well, I say I'm smoking it, I'm going to prep it first. Well, my wonderful linen jacket cost me all £6.50. Of course, Father John has been out. I went to Craven Arms yesterday, the Mecca of South Shropshire. If you can't find it in Craven Arms, you can't find it anywhere. Sitting on my deck today, because it's nice and warm, and I thought it would be nice to put my £6.50 linen jacket from the charity shop on. I had actually got a couple of linen jackets, but they're in the container. I thought this would be rather fun. Should of course be wearing a proper shirt with it, but I couldn't be bothered. My hermitage, my rules. Unsubscribe. Nice smoker this. I've had it a while now, colouring up nicely. I don't smoke it that often though. I'm going to smoke within it some Pessy Canoe Oriental Flake. I'll tell you about my trip in a minute. Get some Pessy Canoe into this thing. Beautiful day in Shropshire, a bit blowy, but I shouldn't do that because it's going to make a noise every time I do anything. I forget about my furry ball and I end up squashing it. I'm trying not to squash it because I know you can hear that crunching and crumbling sound on the video. But beautiful day in Shropshire. My furry ball should prevent the sound of wind that's coming through. It's not a lot of wind. A glorious day. I think it's been hot, hasn't it? Where you've been? It's been hot here. I've had the fan on. I've been in the hot tub every day. Sometimes it's not so hot. Sometimes I've done my Zen meditation in the hot tub. First thing. As many of you know, I normally go up to the cottage and sit on my cushion, cross-legged. Well, I've been doing that, but I've been doing it in the hot tub. Quite a nice way to start the day. And if I had any reservations about getting a hot tub, and it was frightfully cheap, quarter of the price of a new one, bought it second hand off a farmer who kindly delivered it in the back of a trailer. If I had any qualms about it, the purchase, I certainly don't now. I mean, I literally am using it. I think one day I was in it 3 times. Morning, afternoon and night. And sometimes I go out when it's pitch black. And I just sit in the hot tub. During the day I take a book in with me. Smoke with pipe and read a book. at night I just contemplate and look at the stars. There was supposed to be a meteor shower the last few days. Seen nothing here in South Shropshire. Don't know why. But no, it's you can't quite say it pays for itself, a hot tub, but it certainly does in value added. Hope you liked the footage earlier. I've rationalised the water setup. Well, my clerk of works has, but I like to take the credit for everything. Plenty of water here now. I think that's running out of juice. And I'm sat here also because I can't quite see because it's too bright to look at my little monitor. But I'm hoping you can see my tobacco plants behind me. And do you remember the faff and fuss I had trying to grow them from the minuscule, microscopic seeds that they were? Now look at the giant things. So that is, you know, growing tobacco in the United Kingdom. Perfectly legal. I mean, you could grow acres of the stuff if you could be bothered to. I don't know why they don't do it in this country. I know why, because there's no money in it, because you'd have to pay tax if you sold it. But for personal use, you know, I could grow as much tobacco as I want. I might have to go and... Oh, are we alight? Something's working down there. Makes a change. Normally have problems with it when it's that low. Yes, I like that Pesicano Oriental. I always have some in. I don't smoke it all day or even every day. My exotic passion I do. At the moment I've put some... I like to eat the old medjool date. And what I was doing is I was putting them in my old... I buy quite a lot of big tins of... big square tins of exotic passion. And they have a distinctly sort of rum and raisin sort of flavour, that tobacco. And anyway, I put my dates in this tobacco tin. And then I ate them and they were exquisite. They were not only dates, but they had this wonderful... They were infused with rum and raisin. But then that sort of stopped as the tin aged. So what I do now is... It's quite bonkers, isn't it? I put some of my exotic passion tobacco in the tin. I put a paper towel over it, and then I put my medjool dates on it so they can infuse the rum and raisin. And they become quite a delicacy. It's all very decadent, my friends. Unsubscribe! Anyway, this is all very pleasant, isn't it? Sitting out talking to you in the sun. I hope you're enjoying your sunny days. You're probably at work or you're probably home from work now. Being a flake, it takes a little bit longer to get the thing established. Anyway, so I went to Craven Arms yesterday. I bought this for £6.50. Did a huge, monumental shop in Tuffins. So I've got a freezer full, I won't starve now. And I bought some other bits and bobs that I'm going to show you. One of which is something I've deployed as a sort of a pipe rack, but it's not. It's what they call a desk tidy. There's a sort of an antique junk shoppy sort of place. and Craven. Hasn't been open that long. Always managed to buy something in there. And I spent a little bit of money with him. And, well, I'll show you what I've bought. Oh, and while I'm talking and sorting myself up, I'll throw a picture of the desk tidy up and where it is now situate in the caravan. And a small part of my collection of pipes is now in it. But I think you'll agree it's rather fetching, isn't it? It's in oak, which is good. And I also bought this. This is a Payne Galway cartridge bag. This is for when you go shooting. Nice leather strap. Beautiful old leather. I've got some saddle soap coming tomorrow to rejuvenate it, but all the stitching is good. Lovely thing, beautiful leather. And it's for putting your cartridges in when you go shooting. But I used it as a man bag when I was perambulating around Tuffins. I put my mobile phone and my car keys in here, and wore it across my chest. And it's quite a short strap and just sort of sat there nicely. So it performed the function of a sort of man bag, handbag, whatever. And I thought that was rather fun. I think you could also put a camera in it, but it's not really thick enough for my camera with its lens on. So if you had a compact, sort of a digital affair, it could go in that, but not much good for anything else. But what does fit in it, speaking of cameras, and bought from the same shop. I did a dodgy deal. I bought about 4 items off him, and then managed to get the sort of price down a bit, as one does when doing these things. I bought this. Now you'll know what it is instantly. I bought this. That, my friends, is a pre-war camera. Agfa. They don't make cameras anymore. I think they stopped in the 80s. And you will see it's beautifully decorated in sort of Art Deco style, which is rather fun. And well, the older folk will remember this sort of camera. I've got to remember how to open it. I think you just press that, and you do. And when you do that, it flicks open. I shall do it again. You press that, and that opens, and the sort of lens, it sort of flicks open like so. Can you see? And that is a Agfa Compa. I think they call it the Billy Compa or something or other. Not a lot of money. Shoots 120 film. All seems to be working fine. I've just about worked it all out. I couldn't work out how you press the switch to actually take a picture on the shutter, but you push that up like that, and there's another one, and you just sort of you'll hear it. You hear that? And that's the picture. So that goes like that, and then you go like that. And it's got the normal speeds and apertures on the front. And then you flick up this so you can see through it, like so. And it's in remarkable condition, particularly the leather, and that has to be in good condition, otherwise you're going to get lighted and get your pictures exposed wrongly. And to close it, you just grab those two things, like so, snap it shut. Job's a good one. Hope you like that. So those were 2 little things from that shop. I bought the desk tidy that you'll have seen a picture of now, and I bought a glass vintage butter dish. You could get a lot of flies out this way. And they like to come into the caravan. And I had been putting them in a sort of Tupperware affair. But of course, it's not very classy. And so to lend a certain amount of nobility to my existence, I decided to purchase that too, which was a £5. Well, it was thrown in with all the other stuff, really. And but rather pleasing. It's extraordinary how small things can give one so much pleasure. That's the other thing here, you get the wasps. I had a hornet attack the other night. I never get hornets. There could be forest wasps that are about, they're large too. And yeah, I'd gone out to check the voltage on my battery because I had the R8C out again. It didn't cost me anything. I think that must be the 4th battery. I think I now admit that there is a drain, and he thought there was a drain. He checked the connection to the, he tested the connection to the chassis, and it was all a bit corroded. So, very nice man called John. I believe he owns the Lazy Trout Cafe, which is now shut on the A49 on West Stretton. Anyway, lovely man, and got another battery. Didn't cost anything, thank God. Although I was prepared to pay for it, because I thought, well, there's probably a drain on that Cougar. And he cleaned for me the connection to the chassis, so I've been monitoring it, the voltage, and it does seem to lose a little bit of voltage. I checked it today after yesterday's drive, and it was sitting at about 12.6, which is not too bad. You want it between 12.6 and 12.8 apparently. And it had gone down to 12.3 overnight, one night. So I'm monitoring it because the drain could be something else, in which case I'm going to try and fix the drain. And it could be a myriad of things, he said, and he'd have to come and test every single, you know, fuse to every part of the car, see where the drain is. And it would that would cost me. And then they've got to fix it. But that might be cheaper than just getting rid of it, the car, because you always lose money, don't you? You lose money in selling it, and you lose money in buying the new car, because they always load the price. But I'm quite happy just to drive around in the Land Rover, frankly. Now, when it was night time, and I thought, well, I'll just test see if it's gone down, the voltage, and it had. And there was a bloody great hornet under the bonnet, and we're in the dark, and I've just got a torch, which wasn't helping matters. And it was an absolute drama. While I was trying to squash it with the torch, the bonnet came crashing down. You know, those rods. Well, that had gone that way. It hadn't closed in, it had gone that way, and the bonnet shut. That then meant I couldn't open the bonnet, and the mechanism, there's a key that goes in, and you have to push it that way, and then you have to push it that way to release the bonnet. Of course, wouldn't work because it was probably at some sort of jaunty angle because of the rod now hanging out of the bonnet. What a carry-on. And yank it out. And then eventually, by hook by crook, I got the bloody bonnet open again. The bonnet's working now. All because this sodding hornet. And then I come back to the caravan, and there's a light, a solar light, very powerful one, and there's a whole bunch of them, hornets, outside the caravan door. So I had to kill those. I used a combination of a vinegar spray, and a swatter. It took some time to get them all, but get them all I did, and then went back into the caravan. And all this excitement at night, you don't need it at my time of life, because I'm an old age pensioner, don't you know? Yes, I'm an old age pensioner. I actually used that line on the antiques dealer. I said I wanted my old age pension discount, because I'm an old age pensioner. Anyway, where did we get to? So yes, I got the camera, the cartridge bag, the butter dish and the desk tidy. I bought this, did a load of shopping at Tuffins. There may have been other things which I can't remember now. All sorts have been coming and going. I've got a nice pair of noise cancelling earphones to wear in bed by Sony, because I like to listen to my audiobooks. And also because I've got tinnitus, you can play masking stuff through them, and they're Bluetooth. They're great. They were second hand off eBay. Now the problem with that, of course, is I'm nearly slightly uneven, my wooden table. The problem with that is, of course, one's iPhone only has about 6 hours or 7 hours if it's constantly on, and one tries to sleep at least 7 hours. I bought again, second hand, I think that they date from 20 odd years ago, an MP3 player by Sony, which has 30 odd hours play. Now the idea being is that I can put my MP3s onto there, which is a nightmare in itself, because it only works through Windows, I believe. And then I can plug that into my, I don't think they have Bluetooth in those days, or if they certainly didn't on this, I don't think. I can then plug that into my noise cancelling earphones, and I can listen to masking music for the duration of my sleep, because I've noticed that it tends to run out at about 5:30 in the morning or something. There we are. You don't need to know this, do you? I don't know, I waffle on, don't I? About neither nowt nor something, as they say up north. Neither nowt nor something. Anyway, so yes, I've got. So you know, I mean, you might think, well, all he does is buy things, but people like that. I like watching channels where people unbox and buy stuff. But as I say, everything I buy is either beautiful or practical. I don't buy just extraneous nonsense. I also, because it's been very warm, my wool duvet, I have a wool duvet, just sheep wool. And in this weather, I found myself rather hot in bed. And so I thought I'd get a goose down quilt. I've got a heavier one, which is in the back of the container somewhere, and that'd be no good. But during this heat wave, I thought I need something light, so I bought a 4.5 Hungarian 100% goose down duvet. Then of course I needed a cover, and it's a single. I found it in a caravan, it's easier to make the bed with a single. You should give it a shake, and you're done. I managed to buy, again, for very little money, very cheap, a Habitat. Some of you will know that brand, perhaps Americans won't. They were considered sort of utilitarian, but slightly upmarket in their day. Duvet cover and pillowcase in a lovely sort of tartan. Single size and with buttons rather than poppers. And so I've put my duvet into that. And in this sort of transitory weather between sort of summer and autumn, where the nights can get cooler, that will do me at 4.5 togs for some time, I should think. So that was a pleasing purchase. And other than that, I don't know if there's anything to report. I've just been out and about, acquiring stuff, and generally enjoying life, reading my book in the hot tub, smoking my pipe, trying to get early nights in because I have early mornings with Monty, and I hope you enjoyed the footage of Monty. I know a lot of you like to see him. So he's had a bit of airtime on this video. I don't think I've got any questions to answer from your wonderful comments. And as you probably realise, I do answer them all now. I go through them every day and answer them. I don't get a great many. That's about the size of it, really. All that remains to do today really is get some wood into that hot tub and get it on fire. It'll take about an hour or so to get it to the temperature I want. Sometimes there was one day it was 50 odd, I couldn't get in it, it was just too hot. Unbelievable. Once you filled it with cold spring water, it does take a while to get it, but that water has been in a day or so, so it won't take as long to heat up. And I hope you enjoyed looking at me plants. I got a couple of other ones yesterday that were dying in Tuffins, and they were cheap, so I bought them. And I think they're perennials, and they're flowering, but I don't know what they are. Can't remember now. Let's have a look. I've got a sort of violet one and a, what are they? Crested pink. Argrananthium Madeira, crested pink. The potatoes are doing well. They're going mad. Tomatoes are all right, but they're still green. Got loads of those. Yeah, they look lovely though, even though they're green. No, there's no real advances in the cottage. I've got the builders coming out again now for a second look, a closer look, inspection of the timbers for the roof, to get a more realistic quote. And I think then I'm ready to pull the trigger and start works on the house proper. I'm sort of dreading it in a way also, because it means just people, humans. I'm not very good around humans all the time, so to have humans on site first thing in the morning till late afternoon every day drive me nuts. But it has to be done. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs, can you? And there I think I'll leave it, my friends. That's all the news from here. Can't think of anything else particularly. And if I've forgotten anything, I shall bring you up to date tomorrow or the day after or whatever. But I hope you're well. If you're new, do subscribe to make up for all the ones that go unsubscribe. I've no spiritual wisdom to give you today at all, really. I've put an icon of Our Lady, an old one, an antique one, into the cottage, because I say the Angelus, and I've been saying it in front of a little brass statue of Our Lady. But I needed something more of a sort of eye, you know, same level as my eyes, rather than looking down at a little diminutive statue for the Angelus. So I've installed a nice Russian icon, 19th century one. That's now sitting up at the cottage. At some point I will take a picture of it I'll show you my altar setup as it is, for those that like that sort of thing. It's the Assumption today, so a blessed feast, the Assumption of Our Lady, for those of you who observe the feasts of the church. And there's good news about Richard Vobes. He seems to have found himself a bit of land, so we will watch that channel with alacrity now and see what advances he makes on the land. Well, my friends, this is Father John signing out on a beautiful South Shropshire afternoon. I hope you're well. God go with you, God keep you, may he make his face to shine upon you, and all things being equal, I'll see you on the next episode. Ta-ra.